Welcome to the Beast of Bourbon podcast with your hosts, Jeff,
Joe,
Mark,
and Riley.
Each episode, we will discuss topics related to bourbon,
as well as anything else that pops into our head.
Because after all, we don't know jack.
On a more serious note, if you have a friend or loved one who has a drinking problem,
please know there are resources available to help you.
Always drink responsibly. And then I guess on our last day, we went out to Buffalo Trace.
Yes, that was the one that we all wanted to do for sure. We got on the wait. What was the one, the tour we got on the wait list for?
Yeah, I think it was for the tour.
Was that Heaven Hill?
No, was Buffalo Trace. We got on the regular tour. We also got waitlisted for another tour that they were doing that I think would have been a little earlier in the day. And I don't remember what that was. Jeff has
Buffalo Trace, you got to see the entire campus of it. Like it was a sprawling facility.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was a beautiful drive out there. And secondly, since that was the last day and we'd stayed in Louisville, downtown to see the first three distilleries, I was a little bit kicking myself that we didn't put another distillery out in the country on our list to see.
Save for the next one.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to Bardstown. I mean, I think that, first of all, it's always good after an area like that recovers from a natural disaster. You go back and try to, spend some of your money there.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to go back. And it would be
humanitarian purposes.
Well, I tell you what,
I
pretty much did half my Christmas shopping in their gift shop.
You sure as heck did. That was
it was a great gift shop. Riley?
right. Yeah. Being on the receiving end, Riley,
yes.
You really love those gifts in particular, didn't you, Riley?
Can confirm. Still enjoying it.
Yeah, good answer, Riley. Very good job.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I'm telling you, he's the smartest one of the bunch here.
I
got Angels Envy golf balls and tees and all sorts of stupid stuff.
Yeah, but that was a great gift shop. You're right, Joe.
Yeah, they did have a great gift shop. How did you get all that stuff in your suitcase?
I don't know, just jammed the shit out of it.
Riley
was a zipper.
Riley, were you saying something?
Mark got me some Angels Envy golf balls, and I've been too afraid to use them because I know they're going to end up way off in the rough.
Somewhere out of bounds.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take mine to a miniature golf.
But I think Buffalo Trace does have the best gift shop of the four we went to, and it was what really was envious was I think the so you can buy their different bourbons in the gift shop, but they allocate them. And I remember Eagle Rare was one of the two that they had that weekend. And if I remember correctly, you're limited to 2 bottles of each of their whatever they have allocated for that week at a time. So,
I remember we saw a lot of people just walking in, grabbing their allocation or purchasing their allocation and walking out. The locals have it good over there.
Yeah, because it was only, I think it was like $40 a bottle for the Eagle Rare. And I don't remember what the other one was they were selling. That one thing I will say, or two things I'll say about that tour. One, as soon as everybody got there, not just us, but everybody you encountered that was going on one of the tours, everybody just seemed so happy.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I'm home. And then one thing on the tasting, they were the only ones that added something that wasn't just straight bourbon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I forget what it was, but their tasting, I was a little disappointed in. I mean, we had to taste the Buffalo Trace. I think we got to taste
the Redemption.
Yes, was that the rye?
Yeah, that was the one that Chris Stapleton is involved with.
That's right. But I thought there were 2 like mixed drinks that we got to taste.
Wasn't there like a Bailey's type product?
Yeah, that was the one I remember.
Right. Yeah,
they're not going to put Pappy.
They're not going to pour you off some Blantons.
Yeah, or Blantons or any of the real high end stuff out of the tasting. I do understand that.
Hey, here's some Pappy. Anybody want that?
Yeah, right. Probably not. So, and that is the tough thing because they, obviously so much of their stuff is allocated, and you don't want to give everything away. But in reading I watched a news article, I think from Saturday, and when they were opening back up Friday and they were starting to ship again on Friday.
Oh, wow.
They still did not know what the extent of the losses were. So they prepped ahead of time, and they moved a lot of their barrels that are in the lower areas of the rick houses to what they thought was going to be safer ground. But I think even what had traditionally been safer ground wasn't this time around. So that's that's unfortunate. Just from a business's impacted, you have insurance, but insurance doesn't cover everything. And then for the consumer, is it going to make it that much harder to?
Well, and of course the employees who work there, the locals who are all impacted. It's all awful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That whole visitor center was underwater, where we had our tasting, where the gift shop was. That was all underwater.
Yeah,
Really?
the parking lot we parked in, that. Yeah, all of that. I mean, it was just horrible.
Well, all the more reason to go back to the area. I think that was in Frankfurt, to go back in the area, invest some more dollars there for the recovery and our enjoyment. And then I would love to spend a little bit more time. I loved Louisville, but I would love to spend some time in Bardstown. It seemed like it was a really cute downtown. It was Sunday, so a lot of things were already closed. But I really thought it was a cute downtown.
One of the things I remember, circling back to the Buffalo Trace Visitor Center, in the gift shop, they actually had a barrel that you could full of all the different Blanton's toppers. And one of the stories that we heard is that they're basically horse race themed, and there, I forget how many they said that there were, but they're basically all the different,
I believe,
of a horse race from the start all the way to the finish. And there's 8 different ones. They're all different shapes. How many?
8. For each letter of Blanton. And then there's 2 S's, and one of the S's has an apostrophe to distinguish it from the other S.
So the idea is that you wind up buying the Blanton's bottles, and you look for the different toppers so you can put your collection together. But they also had a barrel in the visitor center that you just go and buy the toppers, which I thought was cheating.
And supposedly, if you get all 8 toppers and you send them to Blanton's, they'll mount it on a barrel Steve and send it back to you.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, that does seem like what's in it for them.
Well, maybe it's not a bad exchange. Someone buys 8 bottles of
that's my thought.
Seems like a pretty good deal for them and for the since it's damn good stuff.
We'll give you a hunk of wood and the postage to get it back.
Or you could just do it yourself. Glue gun, piece of wood.
Well, you can buy all 8 toppers there in the gift shop if you want.
But I think, like Mark says, it's cheating.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I've got 3 of the 8.
We were out somewhere here in Newburyport, and Blanton's was on the list, so I got a pour. And it was $25 for the pour. I was like, you know what? I just wanted to treat myself. Nancy saw the bill. It's like, are you kidding me? You could have bought the whole bottle for that. I said, no, honey, you could not have.
No, not exactly. Yeah, we were down in the San Diego area about a month or so ago with very close friends, and we were out to dinner. And he enjoys bourbon, but he's not an aficionado. And Blanton's was on the list. We definitely enjoyed a couple there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? Our lunch on Thursday that Jeff missed.
Oh, right.
The hot brown.
Kentucky hot brown.
Yeah. I don't remember what was on it. I just remember it was good. And it was a sandwich with meat and cheese. Sandwich grilled
with turkey, ham, some kind of sauce, tomato, and a pound of cheese melted over the top of it.
I'm sorry I missed it. It sounds good.
Unless you're lactose intolerant. Then it's trouble.
Right.
All right. The hot brown, according to the interweb, hot brown's made of Texas toast, turkey, bacon, tomatoes, mace sauce, and then broiled until bubbly, and the cheese browns.
Nice.
Hence the name.
I'm going to have to go back and get one since I missed out on that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? One thing we have to do when we go back.
Yeah. The thing that struck me, the airport, when you land and get off the plane in Louisville, you know you're in bourbon country. every window has advertisements for bourbon. Every billboard is bourbon. The columns in the airport have the wraps with the different bourbon bottles or advertisement. It's like they sell bourbon in the gift shops at the airport. It's like,
All
and
the
then
restaurants, all the
yeah,
pubs.
that restaurant we had the hot brown, because I think you had a commitment. You couldn't,
Yeah, Jeff, you were still on the clock.
delayed. Yeah. So there was a tasting outside that restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sazerac.
I got a hit of that tasting.
Yeah. The person that was doing the tasting said it really takes 3 sips before you get all the flavors in your palate. And she was 100% right. I'd never thought of that or never heard that. But each sip, I got a little different.
That's the excuse I use with my wife when I'm saying that I need to drink a little bit more, is that it takes
Well,
three.
Well,
I say it takes 3 glasses.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's 3 sips, not 3 glasses.
No, I was close. I was close. And so that reminds me, if you're having a drinking challenge, please get help. There's places out there that they will help you. So we make jokes about drinking, but it's a serious issue. There's resources out there if you need help.
100% drink responsibly. And, we do drink while we're on the podcast. None of everyone drinks at home.
Yes.
We're not going out afterwards. And
yes.
And do not get behind a wheel.
No.
One more thought about going out. I would like to give a shout out to the restaurant, the nice restaurant that we went to that one night was Jack Fry's. That was delicious. I will absolutely want to go back there when we head back.
That pork chop had to be 3 inches thick that I had. And I couldn't eat it all. So.
But it was one of those like old school chop houses there are so many different pictures on the wall of people who have been there and historical stuff from the Louisville area. And it was really, really cool. I'm glad we did that. Yeah. Jeff, how did you find out about that? Someone told you about that?
I have a colleague who lives in Kentucky and she told me about it. But also, I think I mentioned to you guys, I have a friend and neighbor who had gone literally the weekend before. So I was texting him asking for recommendations, and that was one of his recommendations, and that was a great recommendation. It was a great trip. As usual, it was great to hang with you guys.
Yes, and
I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. So was 3 days the right amount?
Yeah, if you've got all the time in the world, I guess you could really do a slow tour. There are people that come to Northern California and they go a slow tour to Napa and Sonoma and maybe the Central Coast for wine. Sure, you could stay longer, but I think as long as we're still working people, a nice long weekend like that was I think it was the perfect amount of time.
I think we read a lot of stuff with different people that had done 7-day tours with recommendations about being strategic, so you could go to distilleries and these distilleries are here, these are here. But 3 days was it was good. To your point, it is hard to get away for a whole week to go drink bourbon. We do have restrictions on our free time sometimes. So
right. There were amazing. I think if you do a web search for Bourbon Trail, there's an amazing amount of articles out there that will give some great ideas about how you can invest your time.
And there are companies that'll set you up for it too.
Yep.
A lot of those.
There's one tour it's actually a riverboat tour that you get on a boat and go to obviously distilleries right on the water. But I just recently seen, when I think I was looking at some of the stuff for the flood, I had seen that again. And I remember seeing that when we were doing some of the research. So that'd certainly be an interesting way of seeing distilleries. But, drive into the different distilleries I really enjoyed that trip, like I said, out to Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. Jeff's point, it was a very scenic ride, especially on the ride back. It's really nice looking country out there. And if I would say that if we had more time, we would probably have done more of those. Gone outside of Louisville and gone to spend some more time in Frankfurt, more time in Bardstown.
Totally. Yeah.
So that'll probably be part 2 the next time we go down there to plan those kind of trips out there.
All right, boys.
All right.
Good to see everybody.
Always is.
Don't forget, gentlemen, what do we say? We don't know what?
We don't know Jack.
We don't know Jack.
We don't
Please
know.
take the time to like us, subscribe to us, hit that follow sign, follow us on Apple, on Spotify, wherever the heck you're listening to us. We do appreciate all of that.
Absolutely.
Cheers, everybody.
All right,
salute.
take care.
Be well. Bye.